Breaking news, the Supreme Court has overturned Roe versus Wade. Welcome back, everyone. So happy to have you back. In today's update, we are going to go over what this means, the states that already have laws in place, and those who were planning to have specific laws in place if this law was overturned. All right, let's go ahead and begin. The Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade today, and this means that there is no longer a federal constitutional right to an abortion. And this law stated, all right, it was in effect 1973 Roe versus Wade court decision affirmed the right to receive an abortion under the 14th Amendment, ruling that abortions were constitutionally protected up until about 23 weeks when a fetus could be able to live outside of the womb. So this was the original law that was overturned today. Please share with us in the comment section how you feel about this law being overturned. It has been in effect for a long time. All right, let's move on. Here is a breakdown on the justices and how they voted. 5 justices signed into the majority opinion, which was to overturn the law. Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Brett Kavanaugh, Neil Gorsuch, Amy Barrett. Now, 3 justices had differences of opinion that were not of the majority: Stephen Breyer, Sonia Sotomayor, and Ellen Kagan. Now, Chief Justice John Roberts did not join the majority, writing an opinion that he would not have overturned Roe versus Wade, but instead would have only upheld Mississippi's law banning abortions after 15 weeks. Now, these are the states with laws that were poised to take effect have this law been overturned. So here is the breakdown of the specific states who plan to have abortion laws now that this law has been overturned. Arkansas has a law on the books that would ban nearly all abortions in the event that Roe versus Wade was overturned. So it says that except for in the case of a life-threatening medical emergency, a medical provider who violates the law could face up to 10 years in prison, a fine of up to $100,000, or both in Arkansas. Now, Idaho also had a law in place. It says here, making abortions a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison. Exceptions are provided to prevent the death of the pregnant person or in the case of rape or incest. Now, Kentucky legislature passed a bill in 2019 that would ban abortions and make performing them a felony offense in the event this law was overturned. It says very limited exceptions would be provided to prevent the death or serious injury of the person giving birth. Now, Louisiana has a law in place that also would ban a medical provider from performing an abortion procedure or providing drugs intended to induce an abortion. If this law was overturned, it says the ban would not apply to life-threatening or serious medical emergencies, but requires the physician to make reasonable effort to preserve the life of the adult and the fetus. Mississippi law states that within 10 days of the state attorney general confirming Roe versus Wade overturned, abortions are prohibited in that state. Limited exceptions are provided in cases of rape or when the procedure would preserve the mother's life. So Mississippi had already put in place that 10 days after Roe versus Wade being overturned, their ban on abortion would go into effect. Now, Missouri approved a law in 2019 that would make it a felony for medical providers to perform or induce an abortion, except in cases of medical emergencies in the event Roe versus Wade was overturned. North Dakota also had a law in place that would ban abortion and make it a felony to perform the procedure, except in cases when it would save the life of the mother. The law would go into effect as a result of the new decision by the Supreme Court. Now, Oklahoma governor signed a bill last month that would make performing abortions illegal in the state, only allowing exceptions to save the life of the pregnant person. The measures make performing an abortion or attempting to perform one a felony punishable by a maximum fine of $100,000 or a maximum of 10 years in state prison or both. All right. Now, South Dakota has a trigger ban also since 2005. It says here when the law was passed to set up an almost outright ban on abortions in the event Roe versus Wade was overturned, and the law for South Dakota states that it would make it illegal to perform an abortion except in life-threatening medical emergencies and would become effective on the date the states overturn the law. All right, so South Dakota abortions will be prohibited since this law has been overturned. Now, Tennessee also contains provision that prohibits all abortions except those that would prevent the death of the mother and would go into effect 30 days after Roe versus Wade has been overturned. Medical providers could be charged with a felony for violating the law. Texas also have a law. It says here they signed a law in June of 2021 that would make abortions illegal unless the pregnant person's life is threatened or they are at risk of serious injury, and the law would go into effect 30 days after the Supreme Court issued its judgment. Utah also passed a law in May 2020 banning almost all abortions if Roe versus Wade was overturned. Exceptions included cases of rape or incest, detection of severe birth defects, or prevention of the death or serious injury of the person giving birth. Performing an abortion in violation of the law is second-degree felony in Utah. Wyoming also signed into law last month, adding a provision that would make it illegal to perform an abortion if Roe versus Wade was overturned, with extreme limited exceptions for cases of sexual assault, incest, or the risk of death or severe injury to the person giving birth. Now, here is also some more breakdown courtesy of CNN. Half of the U.S. states could ban abortion as Roe versus Wade is overturned. It says 26 states have laws indicating that they intend to ban abortions, according to the Gut Master Institute. 9 states have pre-Roe bans that could potentially be enforced now that this law has been overturned, and we just went over those 13 states that had laws before that are now in effect due to the Roe versus Wade being overturned. Here are trigger bans already in place. Here's a breakdown of the states. Here are the states that ban abortions prior to Roe versus Wade. And here are the states that pass bans on extreme limits on abortions. And finally, we have the abortion states and historical and political atmosphere. All right. So make sure to comment and share with us your opinion on this law being overturned, your opinion on a woman's ability to make a choice. A woman's body is hers. She has the right to make a decision in terms of a pregnancy, and the power being taken away from a woman. How do you feel about this particular historic day of Roe versus Wade being overturned? All right. Share with us in the comments.